During 9 months, 3 parallel habitability studies have been made in the Åland Islands in the Baltic Sea. The islands investigated were Föglö, Kumlinge and Sottunga, which are all small municipalities with between 1 and 500 residents. The starting point was the island's common, slow but steady depopulation. The 3 individual studies have been made by the islanders themselves using the habitability method. And this is the first time any island has actually carried out such a study since the method was invented on Kökar 2.5 years ago. First ones. Makes you wonder, how did it go? I have really 6 questions. 1. Could they handle all the 45 indicators? 2. What did they find out? 3. Did the 3 islands get the same answers or different? 4. To what extent did the islanders themselves do the investigations, so-called citizen science? Are the results reliable? And what did it cost in time and money? Let's see if I can answer these 6 questions. Number 1. Could they handle all 45 indicators? Kumlinge and Sottunga answered 41. 4 aren't measurable, and Föglö 30. This was because the coach in Föglö was alone and had weak support from his municipality, while Kumlinge had 2 coaches with strong support in their municipality. Sottunga had a local coach who was replaced after 2/3 of the time, so 2 coaches you can say, and strong support in the municipality. Question number 2. What did they find out? Let's take it area by area. First, the identity of the island. One day in January, the population in these 3 municipalities is a total of 900 people. One day in July, they are 4,500. It is as if the population of Mariehamn, the capital of the Åland Islands, would grow from 12,000 to 60,000. Not speaking of visitors, but people who eat and drink and dig and build houses and use energy and water, drive cars and boats, talk and surf on their mobile phones. Distributed over a year, Sottunga's population, as an example, looks like this diagram. It is quite difficult for small islands to build sustainable infrastructure for 2 such different communities. Another important issue is accessibility, and we asked how accessible 50 different needs and services are. You know, nowadays we don't have to go to a shoe store to buy shoes or go to a bank to exchange money, but we still have to visit the dentist. The pandemic has taught us to work remotely, but we can't be part of a soccer team online. We see that our habits have changed and it has become easier to live in the archipelago. Area 2, ecosystems. We didn't find anything else but what the scientists have already found, except that it's far more intrusive to have algae blooms, eagles and seals in front of you than to see them on a map. When aders are threatened with extinction, seeing it is worse than reading about it. Area 3, water and sewage. All three islands have water problems, but we know far too little about private wells and individual drains. Föglö has major concerns with the capacity of the municipal sewer. Area 4, energy. The energy consumption on the island is very high because islanders use ferries. If offshore wind power parks are built in the North Sea, it will completely change Kumlinge's municipal economy. We don't know how it will be south of Åland. Financial compensation can also spread to Föglö and Sottunga. The entire archipelago is facing new opportunities and challenges. Area 5, local economy. The local business ecosystems, by which is meant the network of customers, employees, suppliers, competitors, distributors, investors, infrastructure, and authorities that are involved in creating and delivering island products and island services through more cooperation and less competition, are weak on these islands. To measure the gross domestic product and economic leakage was the most difficult task. The most difficult indicators. Kumlinge and Sottunga managed to describe their financial turnover, and Sottunga managed to calculate its leaks. On Sottunga, the islanders buy 270,000 euros worth of food in their store, and only 106,000 euro leaks to the mainland. They spend 632,000 on their homes, including water, sewage and electricity, of which 351,000, which is 54%, leaks. Traveling, not including holidays, cost them 241,000 a year, of which only 53,000, 22%, remains on the island. Of the total costs, about 25% were not trackable. Cost of living. Prices of 15 daily goods in 7 archipelago stores were collected and compared to the prices of exactly the same goods in 3 grocery stores in the town of Mariehamn during one and the same week, 17th to 23rd October 2022. Generally, in Finland, food prices had risen by an average of 14.5% by then during the last year for everyone in Finland. The price difference between Mariehamn and the archipelago was an average of 16%. So the shopping cart for which a Mariehamn resident pays 100 euro, an islander must pay 116 euros. Do bear in mind that islanders have the same wages for the same job and pay approximately the same taxes as mainlanders do. Area 6 is community service. Elderly care and health care were rated very high, slightly higher in Sottunga Kumlinge than in Föglö. Area 7, prosperous people. The inhabitants of these archipelagos are the healthiest people in Finland, which is shown both from surveys conducted during these studies and from the official statistics of the Public Health Institute in Finland. Sottunga and Kumlinge are almost crime-free. Their trust in society and the political system, the municipality, the province, the state and the European Union, is higher than in Åland and in Finland. Those were the answers shortly to question number 2. What did the islanders find out? Question number 3. Excuse me. Are the answers the same in all 3 municipalities? No. They face different challenges when it comes to habitability. Föglö needs to sort out its water and sewage situation. Kumlinge has the offshore wind power to decide on. and Sottunga has an unprecedented immigration to deal with. Question number 4. To what extent did the islanders themselves do the investigation, so-called citizen research, citizen science? Many individuals contributed in conversations and interviews. Kumlinge had 7 working groups running at the same time. Sottunga and Föglö were not as good. The surveys on local economy and life on the island received a high response rate. And as it is a leader-funded project, the working hours had to be reported. And in total, citizen researchers in the 3 municipalities spent 1,260 hours on this project, of which 380 hours in working groups and 880 individually. Question number 5. Can the answers be trusted? Well, the coaches live in their own communities. They are both home-blind and home-sighted. They have asked questions they had never thought of before. They have been surprised by some of the answers, but they have not questioned either the indicators or the results. These 3 studies are based on the scientific method called participant observation, where you yourself are part of what is being studied. Statisticians and researchers may have higher education and a broader perspective, but they miss things that make an island being habitable. With the help of those who live in the archipelago, on the islands, our answers provide new angles, ideas and perspectives on what prevents people from living on the islands. Last question. What was the cost in time and money? The coaches have put in 700 hours, the citizens 1,260 hours, the 2 councillors 880 hours, municipal officials 31 hours, and local politicians 24 hours. The project has cost 59,620 euro, which is 21 euros an hour. Conclusion. The project has worked quite well. 2 out of 3 studies are complete. The project time was long enough, 9 months, but the preparation time was too short, which led to few coaches signing up and the anchoring in one of the municipalities becoming weak. Leader is an excellent financing method for this type of project. The habitability method seems reliable, the results are innovative, and the project has been cost-effective. Whether it leads to decisions and development is another question, but since so many people have been involved, it is ripe for change.